Hello everyone, welcome back to Untethered Yoga. My name is Jordan Adams. I'm the creator of Untethered Yoga. And as always, every video that I create is either going to help the expecting mother or the new mom as they transition through pregnancy, through the birth journey, and then into motherhood. And I've taken a little bit of a break because I am a mom myself, and life has been a little challenging over the last month. You know, you're on toddler time when you have a 18-month-old and a business, so wanted to make sure I hopped on and shared a new update with you guys. So we're going to be working on more of a grounding, but also a core stabilization practice today. I think that centering into the core has a lot to do with, yes, developing functional strength throughout the pregnancy journey and the motherhood journey, but also when you look at it symbolically, it's a chance too to develop the core strength of who you are so that you know what you stand for, you know where your values are, and you also know where you're willing to compromise and where you're not willing to compromise. So with that said, just kind of keep that in mind as you go through this practice. Maybe embody some of that philosophy as you go through the next week, maybe week and a half. Just carrying that forward, looking at the core strength, who you are, where you get your strength from, what your values are, and then living in alignment to that so that you can have honestly, like a happier, more productive, more fulfilling life. So we're going to start in a seated meditation. You can have some pillows under your knees. Normally we do prop our hips up, but just to kind of tone it down and take a relaxing approach tonight, you can go ahead and have some support under each knee. Then shift side to side. You want to make sure you feel your sitting bones equally planted on the ground beneath you. From here, you can just have your palms gently face down on your knees, whether they're touching your knees or whether your wrists are touching your knees and your hands are just down. Let your fingers be soft. Allow the crown of the head to gently balance over the tailbone. And just taking a few breaths. Feeling the abdomen expand as you inhale. And feeling it deflate as you exhale. You might even notice the gentle pulsing of the pelvic floor. When you inhale, the pelvic floor releases. And when you exhale, the pelvic floor gently contracts upwards. Inhale, release. And exhale, feel it gently lift. Now place one hand on your belly, one hand on the center of your chest. And as you breathe in, feel first the hand on the belly lift. And then the breath follows all the way up, but then the gentle lift of the hand on the chest. As you breathe out, start with the hand on the chest. And then the one on the belly moves inwards. And just do that a few more times to your own breath. Noticing the wave of the breath in, through the belly, and then through the chest. And then down out of the chest, and out of the belly. the hands forward and then bend the fingers back. Take a nice stretch here of the wrist. And go to the opposite hand. And then roll the shoulders backwards, just 3 times. And then reverse forwards again, just 3 times. 1, 2, good. All right, you can move your pillows aside. We'll make our way onto all fours, moving into our cat-cow. Making sure the knees are under the hips, the hands are under the shoulders. And as you inhale, just kind of gently lengthen the back, a gentle drop of the tummy, not too much because you don't want to hyperextend the back, lifting the gaze. Then as you exhale, roll the tailbone under, roll the crown of the head towards the belly. And then inhale, release again. Find length first, and then a gentle tuck, lift the head. And exhale, rounding through the spine. And then you can start to get a little free with your motion here. So maybe you want to move in a circular motion. Maybe you want to move side to side. Or one of my favorites is on your exhale. Maybe instead of going to your cat pose, maybe you want to drop the hips back towards the heels. Inhaling. And exhaling. So wherever you are, just giving yourself creative expression, allowing yourself to explore what feels good in your body, allowing yourself to tap into that intuition, just knowing that you're honoring whatever it is that you need in this moment. I think that's a hard part to do in motherhood, is honoring our intuition, but as moms, we innately have that ability to check in with ourselves, with our baby, with our child. And to just know, to have that sixth sense, that knowledge of something's going on or something needs to change, right? All right, so we're gonna come back to a neutral position here. You're gonna make sure again that if you have to move your knees back to go into rolling cat-cow, move them back under your hips. Again, make sure your hands are under your shoulders. Just take a moment to sway side to side. And as you do this, notice the gentle stability that the obliques and the transverse abdominis provide you. You'll notice it right here on the outside of your abs. Good. All right. So now that you've kind of had that feeling, that sensation of what it feels like for those muscles to engage, you're going to keep those muscles engaged. You slowly lift the right fingers forward and then lift the left leg back. 3 breaths here, so take a long breath in and a long breath out. Inhale to reach even a little further. Exhale. And 1 more breath in, and really make sure that that back foot is activated. So your back foot's flat, like you're kicking a wall away. Now as you exhale, melt the hand and the knee down. Good. And again, maybe just gently go side to side. All right. So left arm, right leg. And again, 3 breaths, activating through the right foot, so pressing that heel away, pointing the toes towards the shin. And making sure you're drawing this left arm into the shoulder socket. For 1 more breath. Melt it down. Good. So we're going to move through that 1 breath, 1 movement for 3 rounds each side, so 6 breaths. So as you inhale, right arm, left leg. And as you exhale, melt it down. Inhale, left arm. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. 1 more each side. Right hand. And left hand. And back down. And walk your hands out just about inches or so. And then tuck your toes, push yourself back. So you want to roll the elbows in, kind of like you're hugging a beach ball here. And then with those strong arms, with imagining, again, holding that beach ball, keeping your arms where they are, push your hips back and up, downward facing dog. And take a moment before you walk your dog out just to check into what your body's telling you right now. Check in to anything that's showing up, whether it's mentally, emotionally, or physically. Then once you've taken awareness and acknowledgement to whatever's going on, now you begin to walk your dog out. Shifting in the body where you need to shift, shifting in the breath, and shifting in the mind. If you're walking your dog out like I am, just draw your awareness to those subtle movements around the abdomen. Notice how maybe the pelvic floor shifts, how the abs shift, and even how the stabilizing muscles along the back of the spine shift as you move your hips side to side. Good. And then come back to stillness here. Walk your feet in just a couple of inches, and walk your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. From here, take your left hand to the center of your mat. Maybe even you might need to draw it in just a little closer. From here, you can take your right hand either to your knee, or if you have the ability, you can take it all the way to the outside of your left ankle. Just kind of turn your gaze under the left arm. And then unwind. You'll take your right hand to the center of the mat, and then take your left hand to the outside of the right foot. So you want to make sure that your hips stay level here, so that you're not putting undue tension and torsion into the SI joints or the low back. Awesome. And unwinding back to center, you can walk your feet all the way up to the top of your mat and hang forward in your forward fold. If you're pretty far along in pregnancy, you're always going to want to make sure that you have room for baby, so that probably looks like walking your feet out past hip width apart. Wherever you are, just allow your upper body to completely relax. Allow your head to hang heavy like an anchor. Allow your arms to just kind of hang in the air like ragdoll arms. A gentle bend in the knees so that you don't hyperextend the legs. Good. Then walking your feet back to center. Drop your hips down, keep your hands low on the mat first, and then slowly lift the arms up. Draw your hands to heart center. Take a breath. Stay. And take one more inhale. One more exhale. And slowly rise all the way up, engaging the legs until you get to the very top. Inhale, the arms sweep high. And then exhale, hands through center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, either hands on the floor or hands on your shins. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And a long breath out. Good, and we'll step our right foot forward between our hands. And start with the left knee down on the floor. So you want to make sure that this right knee does not go past the right toes. Ideally, you want your knee over your ankle. Hips are square to the front. From here, you can interlace your hands behind your low back and draw the knuckles down towards the left knee as you lift the heart center up. And if you need to have this right foot out to the side a little more to make room for your belly, just find wherever's comfortable for you. One more breath. And sweep the arms all the way up. And then from here, you can just take your right hand or forearm onto the right knee. Just twist open a little bit to the left. If you have the ability to take the hand down inside your right foot, plant the hand down. Take one more inhale. Then as you exhale, plant the left hand down to the floor. Step the right foot back, both knees to the ground. Take a little bit of a half push up here. And then inhale to push back up. And 2 more of those. Halfway down. Back up. Triceps are hugging the rib cage. And back up. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale. All the way out. This time left foot steps forward between the hands. And again, start with your right knee down. Raise the arms up. Find your expression. Find the strength in the legs, and then interlace the hands behind the low back. Draw the knuckles down towards the right knee. Lift through the heart center. And softly gaze up towards the ceiling. Notice that same sensation of breath that we started with, allowing the breath to fill the lower belly, and then up into the upper chest. And inhale the arms all the way up. And then open up for a twist. Right hand reaches high to the ceiling, left hand either to the floor or just propped up on the left knee. One more breath. And then drop the right arm down, left arm down. Again, bring this foot back. Come to your half push-up for 3. Making sure the triceps are hugging against the ribs. Shoulder blades are glued to the back. And one more. And tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Open your mouth, exhale. Take your gaze forward and then walk to the top. Maybe your feet are wide. Hang forward, fold. And drop the arms down, find your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise to a chair. And it's okay if your feet are wide this time. Use your next breath in to push all the way up. All right, so we're gonna walk our feet together. Enough that's comfortable for you to go in and out of the mountain in a chair. So if it's not comfortable for your feet to be touching, then just have them shoulder width apart, maybe a little further. It depends on where you are in your pregnancy journey. So lift the arms up, big breath in. Then exhale, drop down into your chair. Take a breath. And breath out. 2 more breaths. And on your next breath in, rise all the way up. So if this is too much on your shoulders, you can always have your hands at heart center like we did earlier. Take one more inhale. Exhale, chair. Breath in. And breath out. Use your inhale, rise all the way up. And breath out. Fill up. Then exhale, sink. So this time with every exhale, you're going to draw your pelvic floor up. We're here for 3 breaths. Take an inhale. Exhale, gently lift the pelvic floor up. Inhale, release the pelvic floor. And then exhale, gently pull the pelvic floor up. Inhale, soften. And exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, release the pelvic floor, rise all the way up. Take the hands all the way to the ceiling, interlace the fingers. And take a gentle bend over to the right. A gentle bend over to the left. Inhale back through center. And exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Step back, downward facing dog. And take a breath. Let it go. Inhale. All the breath out. One more inhale. Exhale. And then step the right foot forward. We're going to move into a warrior one. So you're going to find a pivot or a 45-degree angle with the back foot. Front toes are pointing forward. Front knee is over the front ankle. Hips are square to the front as you lift the arms up. And so if you have it in your practice, you want to find as much of a parallel front leg as you can. If your back hamstring is tight, or if your pubic bone is on fire, if you've got some lightning crotch going on from pregnancy, then you might have your foot in a little closer and you might not be able to reach that parallel, and that's okay. Again, honoring wherever you're at, whatever your journey looks like right now. Good, and taking a breath in from here. Then as you exhale, gently hinge from the hips. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hinge. And we'll stay here. We'll interlace the hands behind the low back. Draw the knuckles down towards the heels. You lift the heart center up and away. Softening through the collarbones and through the shoulders. And even through the forehead. So you take a long breath in. Allow the breath to release. Good. And inhale, release the bind, sweep the arms all the way up. And then open up warrior two. So you might need to shift your legs around a little bit to make room for belly, to make room for whatever feels comfortable. But ideally your shoulders are going to be open to the side wall. And your gaze is going to be over your front fingers. You still want a nice generous bend in the front leg. Your back foot is still at a 45-degree angle. As you inhale, flip the front palm and find a reverse warrior, so reach towards the back. And then as you exhale, sweep this right forearm on top of the right knee and lift the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale. A long breath out. Breath in. And a breath out. 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, rise back up to warrior 2. Good. And then we'll just switch to the back leg. So take a moment in center and kind of shake it out. Just notice the difference right to left. A lot of times when we do this, we start to notice the energy shift between the one leg and the other leg. You'll feel one leg is more vibrant, more alive, more blood flow. You'll feel the other leg is kind of just dull. So we're going to transition to the back of the mat. We'll start with our warrior 1. So your left toes are pointed out and your back foot's at a 45-degree angle. From here, lift the arms up. And again, just make sure that you're, roughly parallel with that front knee. Soft bend in the back knee. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, a gentle hinge, finding about a 45-ish degree angle. Inhale, rising back up, warrior 1. And exhale, hinge. Inhale. And one more time, exhale. Sweep the arms around behind the back, interlace the fingers and draw the knuckles down and away as you lift the heart. Softening through the collarbone. Making sure that you're still wrapping this inner thigh in and around. Grounding down through all 4 corners of the foot. The more you engage the feet as a stable foundation, the more you can engage the legs, and the less you have to rely on the back to hold you up. And you find that when we're grounded in that foundation, the pose becomes easier. It's kind of like when we're rooted in those things that we value, life becomes easier, right? As you inhale, release the bind, lift up. And exhale, open up, warrior 2. And take a few breaths just to notice the sensations. And then on your next inhale, flip the front palm, reach back, reverse. And then inhale, dropping the left arm on top of the left knee as the right fingers reach up towards the ceiling. You can gently take your gaze up to the ceiling, soft in the neck, soft in the shoulders, and still active and grounded through the feet and the legs. And then on your next breath in, rising back up, warrior 2. Good. And then coming to a star pose. So your toes are going to be pointed out. Hands are going to reach up like a star. And from here, drop into the hips, goddess pose. Now you can keep your arms reached up. You can have your hands bent like goalpost arms here, or you can have your hands at heart center. And wherever you are, just gently shift from side to side. Just kind of notice how things show up when you shift. Maybe shift up and down, gentle pulsing action here. Okay. And then pause. Just melt into the pose for 3 breaths. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. Last breath in. And last breath out. Slowly push through the legs, rise all the way up. Heel toe your feet back together. We'll move into a tree pose here. So you're gonna plant down through one foot. Doesn't matter which one, we'll do both sides so we'll even you out. And then you're gonna take the other leg. You can start it below the knee. If you need a little extra support, you can always have your toes touching the mat beneath you. Or if you feel like you've got a really good sense of balance, you can take your foot to the inside of the thigh as long as it's not pressing against the knee. From here, hands can come to heart center, or you can reach the arms all the way up. Good. And so we're going to transition into a stork pose, because you know every baby's delivered with storks, or at least so they say. All right, so from here what you're going to do is you're going to take the same arm as your leg down onto your knee. From here, take your knee forward, kind of a 90-90 here, and then you can take your knee out to this side. You can have your hand on your hip or out to the opposite side. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, you can turn your gaze out to the opposite arm. Make sure you're breathing. If it's too much to have your leg out, just have your leg at center. For one more breath. And then drop everything down. Shake it out, maybe take a big breath in as you reach the arms all the way up. And hands through heart center. All right, we'll move to the opposite side. So you'll take whatever foot you just had up in the air down to the ground. And find your tree. So whatever variation you did on the other side, try to do that same variation here. Again, you can have your hands at any position. Really the focus of the pose is more so on that balancing sensation. Making sure we're activating through the foot, up through the legs, and then into the core. Good. All right, and then we can begin to unfold into stork. So you can have your hands on top of your knee, maybe the opposite hand on the hip, and open the leg out to the side. And again, if you're feeling extra adventurous, go ahead and take this opposite arm out and gaze out towards the fingers. And then unwinding back to center. If you fall out, that's okay. And drop the leg down. All right, we'll come back to the top of the mat, take a big breath in. And exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Take your halfway lift, long spine, breath in. And push back, downward facing dog. From here, you can drop the knees down and we'll move into a side plank. So I'll give you a couple of variations. You can start, if you would like, for the least amount of effort, you can just have your bottom knee down and your top leg up. However, I don't recommend this one because it doesn't really work the core as much as you would like. So if you need one leg down, what I would actually recommend would be the top leg out on the floor, and it should still give you plenty of room for your belly. And then instead of letting your hips sag right here, you really want to pull the hips up. So you should feel your core engage. You should feel some contraction here. I guess I shouldn't say contraction, but muscle activation. Now, if you're really feeling bold and adventurous, you can lift both legs up. Again, the same rule applies though. You don't want to be caving down into this hip like this. You really want to make sure you're actively pulling that hip up. And for 2 more breaths. All right. And then we'll go to the other side. You can just switch over, but to keep facing you guys, I'm going to go ahead and switch sides over here. Alright, so whatever you just did on the opposite side, go ahead and do the same variation here. And we'll be here for 5 breaths. Making sure to activate through the core. Pulling the hips up so that you're not sagging. And breathing for 2 more breaths. Perfect. And then drop the hips down. Swing the legs around to center. Then we'll open up wide. So you can start just by shifting side to side, making sure the sitting bones are equally placed on the floor beneath us. And then activating the toes up towards the ceiling and then in towards the shins as you kind of walk yourself forward. You can drop your forearms down to the floor. You can also elevate your forearms onto a lifted surface, such as a block. If your feet are still active, you can go ahead and release them. And allow the head and the neck to drop forward. Good. Walk yourself back up to center. You can place the block off to the side. And then we'll take a side stretch. So again, pick a side, just like we did in tree. We're gonna do both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you choose first. But you're gonna take that same arm inside the leg and then sweep the opposite arm up and over. Now this might be as far as you can go, and if it is, that's fine. For some of you who have a little more flexibility, you might be able to reach your toes. Now wherever you are, you want to make sure that you're spiraling the heart and the rib cage up towards the ceiling. So you don't want to be closing in like this. You want to be stretching out the side of the ribs, the side of the abs. So you're corkscrewing the bottom rib cage towards the front, the top rib cage towards the back of the rib. Inhale, rise back up to center. And then drop the opposite arm inside the leg and reach up and over. Again, corkscrewing this bottom rib cage towards the front, top rib cage towards the back. Inhale through center. And place your hands behind your back. Come up onto your fingertips. You lift the heart center up. Gently tip the head back. Then gently draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, lift the head up and back. Bring the chin back to the center of the chest. And then find a neutral position with the head and the neck. And then bring the soles of the feet together for a butterfly. You can walk your hips out. You can give yourself a little self-love here with the feet, a little bit of a foot massage. And then slowly fold forward. and rise back up. And so today I figured instead of what we normally do for Shavasana, you guys can have free liberty if you just want to sit like we did at the beginning, where we have the pillows under our knees. So you just take a few moments to yourself, revisit this pose, and revisit that sensation of the breath, the gentle rise and the fall. Or if you'd rather do final relaxation like we've done in some of our previous videos, I invite you to do that now. Just whatever is right for your body, your journey, and your practice tonight, go ahead and honor that. For those of you who are seated here, you might even find it helpful to do this against a wall so that you have a little bit of back support so that you can sit here for longer without having to hold tension in your muscles. All right, guys. Well, thank you for playing with me, and thank you for being a part of this journey. It's been so incredible to go through this with you guys in the sense of helping support this transformational period of life, right? If you guys ever have any questions, go ahead and shoot me an email. I'd be happy to help. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.